Good morning, all my PUC first year students. In today's video, we are going to learn more about the concept called language functions, which is very much useful. So, before going to start the session, let us understand what exactly does it mean by language. See, what is language? There are many scholars, those who have given the definition of language. So, let us see what are the definitions of language. A language is a system of conventional spoken or manual written symbols by means of which a human beings as a members of a social group and participants in its culture expresses themselves. So what is language? So language is nothing but the system of conventional spoken or written symbols with the help of which a human being as a part of society interacts or communicates, right? Let us move towards the second definition of language. Language is nothing but a means of communication through which human being expresses their ideas, thoughts, emotions, feelings, etc. So what is language? So the second definition talks about the expression, the very idea of expression of thoughts, emotions, feelings with the help of language. So that is what language is. It is nothing but the means of communication. So based on the definition, so why do we use language? So there are certain functions of language. There are many functions of language, but out of which our syllabus has included some important and basic functions of language. Let us see what are those functions of language. See, what are language functions? Before going to see what exactly are the language functions, let us talk about the use of language. We use language for a variety of formal and informal purposes. So we use language in two situations, formal and informal, right? And a specific grammatical structures and vocabulary are often used when we use language in a particular situation or in a circumstance. Maybe it is a formal or informal. So with the help of some grammatical structures and with the help of certain vocabulary, we use language, right? Maybe it is formal or informal. Let us see. Language functions refers to the purpose in which we use language to communicate. So what exactly the purpose of language is? To communicate, right? When we use language in a formal situation or in informal situations, so certain grammatical structures and vocabulary is used, right? So let us see. There are hundreds of language functions, out of which we have chosen certain functions over here. Let us see what are those. Starting a conversation with a stranger, making request, expressing gratitude, complimenting and congratulating, then apologizing and responding to an apology, then expressing sympathy, seeking permission, introduction, leave taking, request for repetition, asking for information, offering to help, asking about preferences, agreeing and disagreeing, ending a conversation, and complaining as well. See, those are the language functions which we are going to focus on. See, when we meet people, see, it is a general, we as a part of society, when we meet people, we use language to communicate, to express our thoughts, ideas, emotions to each other. So when we meet people, we begin with the communication process by greeting each other. Sometimes we may have to introduce a friend or a colleague who is with us. At the end, we take leave for or bid well. We take leave or we bid farewell. We use formal language when we meet someone in authority, business associates, strangers, and people in official positions. Informal language is used when we meet close friends, relatives, and members of the family. In two situations, we use language, formal and informal. When we meet our friends or relatives or members of family, we use informal language, right? But when we meet official or authority, at that time we use formal language. So that is what the two situations in which we use language and how language works. What exactly the functions of language are. Let us see. There are certain expressions of language, right, which we use for greetings. Some common expressions for greetings. Let us see what are those expressions for greetings. Now, as I told, there are two situations, formal and informal. in which we use language. Let us see, for the purpose of greeting, which expressions we are going to use in formal situation and in informal situation. Let us see. Greetings. In a formal situation, when we meet people, we begin with good morning, how are you, good afternoon, or good evening. See, these are the expressions, common expressions when we meet people. At that time we use in a formal situation. When we talk about informal situation, we also use certain common expressions. For example, hello, haven't seen you for a long time, hi there, hi everybody, hi. See, these are some of the common expressions which could be used for the greetings. Next, making request. See, the other functions of language is making request. When we want to make request, right? See, we as a human being, as a part of society, we require certain things. At that time, when we make request, how do we make request? So what are the proper ways with which we make the request? Let us see formal and informal ways or situation. So in a formal way, do you think it would be possible for you to help me to get certain things? Or we would be grateful if you help us to find out some information based on some topics. So likewise, in a formal situation, we can request, right? So let us talk about the informal situation. Will you do me a favor to get your attention? Next, will you or would you or could you please give me your pen? Right? So likewise, informal situation. So my dear friends, these are the language functions. So the remaining language functions we can continue. Let us talk about next, expressing gratitude. Sometimes people would help us. At that time, we as a part of society, as a part of our gratitude, the way we are going to express our gratitude. So let us see what are the ways with which we can express our gratitude when someone helps us, right? What exactly do we do? Let us see. Thank you. You are great. You are too kind. I'm in your debt. I'm grateful for your assistance. My gratitude knows no bounds. So like that, we have to express our gratitude. My dear friends, I'm going to talk in detail how exactly those functions work in a real context, right? So later on, I'll be making many videos in which I'll be talking about each function in detail, how language works, how language is used, right? Next function is complimenting and congratulating. Sometimes we have to compliment or congratulate maybe our members, family members, friends, wherever we are working. So likewise, so how language is used when we have to compliment or congratulate our friends. Let us see, or maybe authority, wherever you are working. So our basic purpose is how language is used, right? So in a formal way, so these are the constructions. So when I'll be talking about the language functions, at that time I'll be talking in detail. Let us talk about the formal ways of complimenting and congratulating. Let us see. May I say how, right? How you are beautiful. Then please accept my compliments. Congratulations, for the sake of congratulating, right? In a formal way. In an informal way, this is or this was nice or smart. When we compliment certain things, then what a nice or what a smart, wonderful, beautiful. So likewise, we can compliment the many people. Then when we have to congratulate, so what are the informal ways to congratulate? Let us see. Congrats, well done, right? So these are some of the ways, right? And the language is used. My dear students, I hope you would have understood whatever I have talked so far. So the remaining language functions I'll be continuing in the next videos. Thank you so much.